This podcast is brought to you by Cameron Parker and Carlon Parker. Some material is for a mature audience. Sit back and enjoy.
As soon as I'm about to leave the house, I was getting my shoes and stuff on. Guess who busts through the door?
Whooping.
I mean, flustered, red.
Welcome back to the Parker's Couch. We're with you for another week. How my brothers doing out there?
Well, the most handsome, the most debonair is doing well.
Yes, I am doing well. Thank you.
Please. We have not retired that line yet?
Yeah, staple. That's how I identify.
I'm going to leave that one alone. the other brother. The same brother that I have. How you doing over there, Mr. Carlon?
Alive. I'm feeling great. 3 more days, the work week. Pray for me.
Sure you're doing great, because it don't sound like
Down. He sound down and out.
I'm always great. I'm always happy.
Work. I mean, you act like you work hard.
I'm tired. I need a vacation. I think I need about a week off.
Make sure you get paid.
So hard for the money.
Oh, guys. So you better treat it right.
So hard for it, honey.
Okay. So, well, I got something to lift your spirits then, brother.
That's right.
Y'all, I witnessed one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life, the total eclipse. Did anybody look at the eclipse? Did anybody look at it?
Boo.
Why are y'all staring at me like I'm crazy right now? Oh my God. But anyway.
Yes, I did.
Anyway, get y'all. So one of my friends, John, who's like a bit nerd about all this stuff, and he's like, he hit me up and he was like, hey, I'm gonna go check out the total eclipse. You want to go with me? Thinking I would say no, which I normally would say no. But I said, why not? I'm not working. What else am I doing right now? Let me take that ride. And so we picked the area to go out there near Cleveland. 4 minutes. We got like a 4-minute total eclipse. And just, you talk about something that makes you feel small and just like small. One of the beauties of the world. And you just realize we are. It was just so amazing. I can't even describe it. Like, to put it into words, and that feeling and just the coldness that comes over, like everything just gets so cold and the birds are all confused. They're like circling. Some are leaving.
The birds were very confused.
They don't know what is going on. The way they
like, the memo.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So it was magnificent. So if you haven't seen it, brother, I think I forgot, Mr. Carl Parker. I don't think I sent you pictures. I'm gonna send you some pictures if you didn't see them on my Instagram story. But you got to see it. It's beautiful, y'all. But none of y'all looked at even the partial eclipse.
I was working. I was inside the building. I followed online while I was working. So I saw pictures online. And I walked to the window of my building. And it was just sunshiny. It was nothing special, unfortunately, in D.C.
There was nothing special on my end. It was sunshine and darkness.
Hey, then.
Right. Humbug.
We learned last time you was with us. He said he don't do that sun and moon and star stuff. He said, he said that is the devil's work.
Yes.
Leave me alone.
He's not fascinated.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I understand it's beautiful in its state, but hey, it was a thing.
It was a thing that happened and a beautiful thing. Anyway, along those.
Well, can I mention something rather quickly?
Yeah.
I feel like Bart in this instance.
It was funny today at work. We had our class today. I had classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2:00. And we went around the Zoom and asked people, how did they experience? What was the experience like for the eclipse? You know, the majority of them didn't even know about it.
Shut up.
Had no clue. I mean, the younger kids this generation, they pay attention to nothing.
Oh well, they are oblivious if
It was
what
crazy.
had to be on the TikTok dance or something for them to know what it.
It was something. I'm like, you didn't have any clue that was Eclipse. I mean, it was everywhere.
Right.
Nothing.
You would have known by accident, I feel like.
Exactly.
Well, when certain places were causing states of emergency and everything else, you would think people would know, but man, it's sad.
And that goes into my story later. So we'll get there about this.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll place a little pause there. But well, brother, another thing with the sun, the moon, and the stars. So Mercury is in retrograde. And let me tell you, it has the world. One of the things that's known about this is people go crazy. It's crazy that starts to happen. And let me tell you, my week tried to get a little violent this week. Try to be a little craziness. I know you maybe got a message about a phone and something happening.
Yeah, I did get a message about a phone, and well, I got a text message that you were robbed or something, and I was like, what?
Well, let me tell you.
What? I went to go get Betty May, my 45. I said, well,
I wish I had one on me.
Betty May.
Betty May. Oh my gosh. You're a mess. Betty May. I need to give me a Betty. Maybe I get Sally.
Yeah.
What's gonna be her?
We definitely get Betty May.
Yeah.
So, all right. I'm about to meet your brother. We're supposed to go to the Lakers Wizards game. That was like on Wednesday or whatever. I think this was Wednesday.
Yeah, it was Wednesday.
And I'm in my whole content kind of thing. I'm in my content groove. So I have my idea of what I'm going to do to lead up to the Lakers game. And I'm taking my scenic shots and out there while waiting on the B2, which my brother knows is famously late. One of the lateness that be going on. And so it was late. So I said, well, I'm bored. Let me just go ahead and start filming some scenic stuff around here. Minding my business. And then I hear like some yelling, kind of like coming from the bus stop. And I don't really pay attention to what's wrong. And then this one lady, she definitely was on something, comes up to me and was like, are you filming us? No, I'm not. I'm like, no, I'm not filming you. Don't be filming us. So I like show her what I was recording. Look, you're not on here. She proceeds to slap the phone out of my hand and then proceeds to start stumping to try to stump it. So then I push her off of it and like, what the F is wrong with you? Get my phone, and I'm wiping it off. And then 3 guys from over there come over and start surrounding me or trying to surround me. And they were like, don't you touch her. Don't you touch her. And then start squaring up. So then I start squaring up back and we're going back and forth, having words. I'm like, what the F you gonna do? Get away from me. And then they're like, you're filming us. You don't need to be filming us. And I was like, nobody is filming you. Who is trying to film random people under a bus stop? Like, what are you talking about? And so I'm showing, like, hold up my phone to them while I'm right there because, I'm in front of them and the 3 is like a semicircle. And I'm like, look, no one is there. She comes back from behind, hits my hand, and the phone goes flying. Like that way. And then I take off, she takes off and is trying to like stump it again and trying to whatever. So I'm running over to her. Then they run over with me too. And they like surround me and try to get physical. So then at that point, I had to step up, protect myself first and make sure I had them all in front of me. And we about to go to blows. In that time, she had picked up my phone and ran across the street.
No.
It's
No.
like a movie. All this is happening like so quickly. And then I go chase her across the street. I had one big buck up moment where I like got all up in these guys' face, and two of them backed away. And then they were like, give him his phone or whatever. You doing too much and da 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 da. I chased her across the street. One of them followed me. I didn't realize at the time. And so then I get her and I'm just start snatching her stuff. And I was like, give me my phone. She's wearing like 3 coats. She got all these bags. She has all this stuff right. She hands me one phone, not my phone. She hands me another phone, not my phone.
Oh.
I said, boy, at this point, the rage that is coming over me. I'm like, I don't hit a woman, but I was very, very, very close. And so I like take her bags and I'm going through her bag. She's like, don't touch my stuff. I'm like, well, you got my stuff. And I'm going through all of her mess. And the guy that followed me over, I just felt somebody coming behind me and he's like, can I hit him? And she's like, don't hit him. And so I turn around and I'm like, hit me. And this is like, we are going at it. She runs back across the street at that point.
Oh.
And I didn't know if she threw my phone because then I didn't realize some cops had pulled up. And so people started scattering and the cops were doing it. And I didn't really notice them before until later. They were doing something else. And I was like thinking she tossed my phone somewhere. And so I'm going and looking. I'm looking everywhere trying to find it, right? Not there. I don't see it. And at this point, everybody had went like kind of down the block. So I take off and I go chasing them. At this point, I've just lost my mind. I'm furious. And so I get the one dude. And when I get up to him, he like holds up his hands and talk about, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. I don't know where your phone is. I don't know what's happening, blah, blah, blah. Then I see her down another way. So I start running after her and she's fumbling through her bags. And I'm yelling at her and she's like, I don't have your phone. And she jumps in this car and the car like pulls up and like, what's the problem? And I was like, well, the effing problem is she got my effing phone. Give me my phone. And then she's like, this ninja out here trying to film us and do all this stuff. Da, 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 da. And then they drive off.
No. With your phone?
With my phone. With all this stuff. I go back over. The cops are over there. What pissed me off even more was one of the cops. I'm talking to him. He's like, "Oh yeah, I saw you arguing with that woman, and but I didn't know what was going on."
They don't care.
They had no care in the world. Was anybody shooting? No, so I don't care.
There's a bunch of girls over there yelling like they always do. Let them kill themselves. That's all they don't care.
So we do the whole report, do that thing, get all that. But I still got to meet your brother at the game. I don't have a phone. He's there waiting for me. I got the tickets.
Oh,
that just turned into a mess. Now your brother.
Now listen.
What a trap.
I was in the lobby of the Capital One Center for about a half hour.
Oh no. Sitting up in there looking crazy.
The security staring at me. The police staring at me. Let me go outside because I'm getting uncomfortable. It's about time to tip off. Your brother still has not contacted me. I said, oh my goodness. I thought about 1,000 things, brother, and none of them were possible. I was like, oh my God, let me go home. Did he fall down the stairs? Is he knocked out? Is he dead in bed? I had no idea what was going on. So in the Uber, which was an ordeal in itself, trying to Uber at the Capital One Center was a struggle. But I ended up getting an Uber, and in the Uber ride, I said, oh yeah, let me turn on the location of the phone. And I see his phone is somewhere in Southeast DC. I'm like, where's this place? So I Googled the place. It's somebody's house. I was like, okay, I don't recognize the house. Did somebody kidnap him? Like, what happened? So I get home and I start yelling at the screen. I hear nothing. Thankfully, his door's open. I didn't into his bedroom. I didn't have to open the door, and I saw nobody was in there. I said, "Okay, I didn't step up, open up the door to a dead body." I said, "Thank God." So,
Yeah.
like, okay, what did I do? So I called one of my friends because Cameron was dog sitting for one of our friends. So I called
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "No, he left. He's not here anymore." I say, "Okay," because I can't get in contact with him. We're supposed to go to the game, and he never showed up. Like, he never called me. I'm like,
Right.
that would never happen. So in my haste, I text Monica, and she didn't know where he was. Then I thought maybe she was tracking his phone also. And then I reached out to our friend John, and I asked, was he tracking his phone? And he just happened by circumstance to be checked. I think Cameron said like a couple weeks beforehand they shared locations for
Mhm.
some reason, and Cameron decided to leave it on. Thankfully, and he got the same location I did. So we were planning to meet up and go over to the residence that I had pulled up on the phone. And
Right.
as soon as I was about to leave the house, I was getting my shoes and stuff on. Guess who busted through the door?
Cameron.
Whooping.
I mean, flustered, red, beet red,
Angry.
angry. I was another storm. He was all over the place. I'm like, what happened? He's
Looking
like,
flustered. You ain't know what's going on.
he couldn't get his words together. He's like, do you have your phone? I was like, yes. He said, my phone's been stolen. I said, are you kidding me?
Oh, that starts a whole nother ordeal that night though with the cops trying to go and
Oh,
But y'all
retrieve the phone.
okay. So you were able to locate your phone and get it back.
Yeah, but the cops couldn't do it.
no thanks to the cops.
They saw it.
They are sorry. Send them to the location. First, they're like, "Oh, you need to be 2 blocks away." So we had to get 2 blocks away from where it was, and then wait forever for them to come meet us. A couple of other of our friends had showed up. We was all ready to go. And I was like, "Y'all, I don't know what's up in this place. Ain't none of us carrying nothing. I don't know what's happening, what's going on. We're gonna, let them go and handle it. We got the location where it is. Nothing. They finally get back to us. It was like, a couple people answer the phone with me, answer the doors, and they know what we was talking about. We tried to call it. We ain't hear nothing. Da 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 da.
But you got your locator on and you know it's
And I
there.
know it's there.
Yes.
Yeah.
But my phone and John's phone are both said the same location.
Yeah.
The next day, that next evening where everybody was free, like me, your brother, and John went to that location. And we go to the back and we're calling it, and they start calling it. And I was like, I hear it. I was like, I hear my phone. And then everybody started looking around. And you got to have the crazy white boy in the crew. He jumps on the car and is looking over. He's looking over the patio. Because, we can't do that. And
Yeah.
then he's looking over. He's like, I see it. It's laying right there.
Oh, they just dropped the phone.
I don't know what. He's about
I don't
ready
know what
to
happened.
jump over it and get it. I'm like, no, I'm going to go to the door. And then your brother, and he's like, I'm going to jump over there. Then go your brother. There's a door. We're like, oh. Yeah.
There's a door right there, guys.
He just go through the patio door and get it.
It's the logical one, Carl.
Right there. No,
Please.
the logical one. So, cops, I don't know what y'all are doing. I don't know the store. I don't know if somebody just placed it out there later. I don't know what happened to this phone. I got it. Why they did all this, I have no idea.
For us to meet Mr. King.
They had to be high on something.
Oh, yes. That's for sure.
Yeah. But you said they had multiple coats on and multiple phones. So they were running some kind of scheme or scam.
Doing something. What's the phone craziness? So, Abbott, And let's just say the rest of the week has just still been crazy around DC. Everybody's fighting. I don't know what's going on. The universe is crazy.
Well, right now,
Universe
the
is
world
crazy.
is crazy.
All right. Well, let's get to some sports talk real quick. Now we got all that settled and we are caught up. We can say, like, maybe it was a fight. Maybe there was a little pinching going on in these games. But we definitely had the two champions reign supreme that should have. South Carolina beating Iowa and UConn beating Purdue. But I want to talk about the ladies first and everything here. Ladies first.
Ladies
First,
first.
I just want to leave it before we get into anything like Caitlin Clark and I would, even if we back up to some games or whatever, can we just give Dawn Staley and South Carolina just some love?
Well,
A hand clap for
Dawn
praise.
Staley is definitely the GOAT. She is
Definitely the GOAT.
She's an amazing person. She does it the right way. Like if you see her even prior to the game, she goes over to their staff, shakes everyone's hand prior to anything going on. She shakes the whole staff's hand. She leads by example, and like she's really got old school principles. Listen to her interview where she talked about how when she recruits, and she talked about if a child does not listen to their family, to their parents, she don't care how good they are. She ain't going, because if they do not listen to their parents, how could she expect them to listen to her?
I love that.
And so, she just leads the right way. And, there's so much that can be learned from her actions by someone like Kim Mulkey. She needs to go to Dawn Staley's class to learn about how to handle things with class and dignity. Even with her giving Caitlin Clark her roses.
She did.
After.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes,
she doubled back to do that.
I mean, she just has tremendous class, tremendous dignity, and I have a ton of respect for her, for the way she handled herself.
Yeah. Yes, brother. I echo everything you said. I've been following Dawn since her playing days and when she was coaching at Temple. And I was like, man, she's obviously gets a big time job. And she went to South Carolina. I was like, why is she going to South Carolina? They have no history of winning, no championship culture. I was like, oh God, this may be a bad move for her. Man, she has created such a dynasty. It reminds me of Carolina in terms of the familiar aspect of it, the way they talked about how she's so close to the parents and it's a family there. Like all the players come back, all the players still keep in touch, all the players are still rooting for them. Like Aaliyah Boston was commentating the game. She was down there on the floor celebrating one. And it's just a beautiful thing to see. And I love the fact that Dawn has been pushing highlighted women's basketball like really heavy before Caitlin Clark, maybe the last 3 or 4 years. And she was always talking about how they weren't getting coverage on ESPN. It wasn't right. Like maybe it should be some kind of competitive aspect with ESPN because they're not doing the women properly. And I love how she gave flowers to. I don't know if you guys were reading the coverage, all the accolades that the pregame was getting with the all female panel with Carolyn Peck and those ladies, how excellent they were doing and how everybody was really enthralled with their knowledge and how they're communicating the game in such a way where it's easy for even the novice fans to understand. And Dawn in her press conferences are bigging them up and saying, hey, ESPN, we need a weekly show. These ladies need a weekly show. Like she's always standing
Some people don't think that.
Set up for what's right.
Some people don't think that last day now, brother. Always standing up.
I know that's how that's so stupid. They're just dumb. I hate this. Sometimes I really feel like I wish we could warp out of
Yeah.
this world and create another planet somewhere else.
Yeah, we won't go in that route. We're gonna
This is so
tackle
slow.
the trans sports topic one day. We're gonna go to that and get into a discussion about it. We won't go in there with this one out with this podcast, but whenever she got asked that question and she had a response, her response was what it was. But for people, it's one thing to disagree and have a different opinion. That's fine. But to say like she doesn't champion women, she doesn't, to go in the way that they did on her because of the
Crazy.
Well,
that's crazy.
well, for one, that gentleman, he needed his job back.
Absolutely.
Because
1000%.
that not even
Absolutely.
all he was bait.
Yeah, that's that. He
was
works with Outkick. That's all they do.
That's clickbait,
Mhm.
man. That's not true journalism, man. And it's she knew what he was trying to do. If everyone
She called him out on it.
full response, she called him out at first, and
She did.
when she started out, she was like, "Man, you going real deep on this stuff, ain't you?" And so she really didn't get into the answer, and then she said, "Well, you want me to say one thing or the other, so I'm gonna say it."
She said, "I know people gonna be on my timeline.
I'm gonna play your game."
Me, just because,
Uh-huh.
and here we are on the precipice of, history right now, and you out here for clickbait.
Yes.
But I,
Just ridiculous.
Mike, we said that topic there is a topic for another day, but what really should be the topic is, why was this gentleman seeking that answer out at this time?
Yes. Ask those why questions, please. Yes.
At this time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, at this time. Why are you? But that's kind of, well,
yeah.
We have time to discuss later.
Oh, yeah. We'll certainly get into it for sure. And we're going to have plenty of time
Yes.
to get that future podcast.
But, as far as the season, though, to go undefeated,
undefeated. 38 and 0.
To go undefeated. And really, it was a miraculous season.
It was.
To hit that shot against Tennessee.
I was.
It's just
that shot against Tennessee, exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It was just meant to be for Dawn to have this type of success. And, it hurt her to her core for them to lose last year. Like, she talked about how she handled that moment and not coaching in the moment, and what it, she calls Aaliyah Boston and that crew her freshies or something like that. And, it just hurt her to have that loss.
Yeah, it's a redemption story too in itself. And they're like, it's the same as that team too that put you out.
Yeah. And for Raven Johnson,
I was about to go
to get her kickbacks like she did. Oh my gosh, she locked
that a lot. Yo, because that first quarter, Caitlin was
locked her down.
She was cooking them girls. Like 18.
She was killing Bree Hall. Bree Hall couldn't do nothing with her. But when Raven Johnson got a hold of her,
oh my God.
What a great coaching move that was.
It was like one of them old school whippings.
Yes.
So brought the switch out on her and tan them legs.
I think they said she went like 5 for 20 or something with Raven on her.
And Raven was ripping her straight
that
up.
One from going into the half.
Oh, the one And then with the
Yeah.
left,
Halftime.
I-
So pretty.
you know, that was one of them
Yes.
ones where I would fight after
Yes.
that.
I was surprised
Not-
Caitlin didn't throw that ball at him.
You're on TV, you ain't gonna do me like that.
Right.
That ripped Caitlin's soul out
It
of her when
did.
she did that.
Exactly.
And then she was blocking her shot.
You know about the embarrassment
doing
on
it.
TV.
He was doing it all.
But think what Caitlin did to her last year.
That was so.
It was
okay. I thought that was so disrespectful. It was so much about
Waving her off.
Angel
Yeah,
and doing
so
the hand things
disrespectful.
and stuff. I've never seen that happen on the court. You know that when there are people who can't shoot, you know, who aren't great shooters, and you play off of them. But I've never seen someone physically takes their hand and wave at them and turn around and turn your whole body around.
And dismiss them.
Well,
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
well, there's a
Brother. I know
there is a huge double standard. That's all I got to say, man. 'Cause, no,
I've got to say.
anybody of color that performs in that or does things in that manner, they are villainized.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They are
1000%.
vilified to the highest, man. And
That's and Raven carried that with her and said, "This moment, I am not." Oh boy, and she got in her. I was happy for her. I really.
she was eating her up and smiling the whole time. I was like, she just spout. Why she taking it? And even when getting bad calls when she was being her up, those refs were completely biased.
Like all tournament.
And Dawn was
they were
upset over initially because of how biased they were being. But she regained her composure, but you could tell the emotions were getting to her because she was seeing what happened to her last year.
Yep.
Coming in fruition.
Exactly. I love how Raven was, like to your point, brother, was just laughing and smiling whenever she had a bad call.
It was awesome, man.
It was awesome. And I was so happy for her. Definitely. And also, I want to big up the freshman baby.
Ooh, boy.
Can we talk about the freshman?
Talk about it, Carlon. Tessa
Johnson. It was
Tessa.
lighting them.
The process.
Wally? Ooh, wait.
Unconscious. She changed the game. When she came in, I'm off the bench. The whole energy changed. The whole tempo changed. The confidence. She's a dog. I love her. Like I think she's going to be such a great player.
Dawn said she's a transcendent player.
Yeah, she did call it.
She said
those words.
She could have gone anywhere else, and a coach would have put the ball in her hand, and she'd have been playing just like Caitlin Clark is.
Yep.
Like Caitlin Clark.
Had that free reign to do whatever.
Because she can do it all. She can drive. She can shoot. She can dish. She has the total package. And but unlike Caitlin, she plays defense.
That was the other thing that I was
going to
say about Caitlin. You know, they always put her on the weakest person.
Yeah.
Offense.
Yep.
They try to hide her every time.
They always put her on somebody that possibly can't shoot well from the outside, where she can lay off and not really play any defense.
And this is what's going to be interesting on the next level for Caitlin. And this kind of leads into one of the things I want to talk about too, is like one of the things that pissed me off was like the coverage, even after South Carolina won. Like everything was still about Caitlin. And even like multiple headlines still has Caitlin's name in it. Like whatever South Carolina.
Well, what
her picture. Like South Carolina goes undefeated and Caitlin Clark's picture there. Like what kind of sense does that make?
It had the slogan up there, the headline, South Carolina wins title, But Caitlin Clark in Iowa is on the picture, smiling.
That's so ridiculous. That's so.
It's crazy.
South Carolina just went what 109-3 over the last three seasons.
3. Not a picture of Dawn Staley up there smiling.
Serious.
109-3. Jeez,
That is ridiculous. Absolutely.
You would get a failing grade in journalism school if you.
But like one of the things that somebody knows
as a project.
So it's been interesting to me too to hear this Caitlyn thing is such an interesting phenomenon to me because it's so different with the era we live in. Because we were talking even before we got on to do our podcast here, like how many great white women's basketball players there have been and there still are. And nothing has gone to this level. And now even they turned on them because the way they were been to turn on Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird, like two of the greats right there who just speak reality. When Scott Van Pelt was asking Taurasi about the next level, it wasn't just Caitlyn. He included Caitlyn, but he was talking about Angel too and all the people going into the draft. He was like, what's gonna be the difference going to the next level? And she simply said they're in for a rude awakening. She said it's one thing to dominate. She says one thing to look like superhuman against 18-year-olds, but it's another thing when you're playing grown professional women who have been playing for multiple years. And she
grizzled,
right?
Yeah.
And she said we all went through it. And she said that happens in the NBA. This in the WNBA is the same. Oh, she's a hater. Oh, see, the greats, they just bad because she's already better than all of them. Like these Caitlyn fans.
They're crazy.
They're crazy. But like you said, the no defense, ain't nobody can slack off on over there on that next level. You're behind is about to get busted.
Busted.
Grown women bills, baby. Yeah, not just gonna let you have you take that spot.
Raven Johnson locked her up.
No, ma'am.
Wait till she see some of those cats over there.
Okay. Oof. I'm just so confused with people. And I don't get it because it seems like any critique you make of Caitlyn, you become a hater. But she was the Wooden Award winner this year. You know, she did get awarded that on Tuesday, which was expected. She had an amazing season, breaking the records, and you know, she's in the record books for sure. What did y'all think about Lynette Woodard with what she had to say regarding the record?
Lynette Woodard, I mean, put it in perspective.
Sure did.
People do need to honor that. She was playing with a men's basketball and no 3-point line.
She said, so who beat that? She said it was not the same.
Hello.
She said it was not duplicated. Right. She said, so my record is not broken. And she has a point.
It's not the same. It's not in the same era as what she is what she was trying to get over on people. And people are glossing over that and not understanding exactly what she was conveying.
They don't want to understand, brother. They do not want to understand.
And you got to give that woman her flower. What she was amazing.
And when she was looked over for how many years?
Hello?
For how long? Like
nobody don't even know who she is.
Right.
Like it never existed.
I don't know who she is.
You never existed.
Like, yeah, that's just a random black woman.
You know how that's got to, oh man, that had just got to hurt you. That's got to get to you some kind of way. Because she's been gracious to Caitlyn and everything. You know, she's been on coverage and stuff, and she's been gracious through this whole thing. I'm like, let her have her moment on this one. Be like, wait a minute now.
Okay. Yeah. Let her pop her collar. Right, pop her collar, please. Can't get over the fact they're playing the men's basketball. That in itself is greater than anything that these women are doing today. But a men's regulation basketball, when you're a woman, and
that is great. It's wow.
It's crazy.
More strength, more stamina.
And I imagine then whenever she was playing, like,
Yeah.
I mean, the tournament would have been like it is now. There's so many more games and stuff people play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the tournament that come, what, it's a
It was no
1982
tournament.
for women, I think it was.
Yeah, so she was in
Yes.
shortened seasons and all that.
That's wow. She think about that.
Riding on rickety school buses with no heat,
That's
no
wild.
air,
With
no air conditioning.
Brown.
None
They
of
gonna
that
have to
stuff.
put asterisks for all these kind of records, like with this generation now, for the men and the women. That's like every time I see Baycott with the double, I'm like, no, that's not for real,
They
y'all.
really do.
Baycott did
Right.
that at like
Dude,
It's like Bitcoin. It's like Bitcoin
dude,
versus
y'all got
the
come
stock
on,
market.
come on now. We gotta have some kind of we gotta be for real about this. There needs to be some asterisk going on. We gotta use critical thinking.
It's on these COVID years because these
This
COVID
is fake
years,
money.
They just be stacking.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
back.
I don't like it. No, that ain't the same.
I don't like it.
Y'all got any more
Mm-mm.
thoughts with the women and anything on that side?
I just want to give my girl
Yeah.
Cardozo some
Yeah,
love. You can't leave the
Cardozo.
big girls out of it. She was dominating, and she won most outstanding player. So
Yeah.
I give her some love
But
as well.
still dominated on the boards, and she was they allowed
Yeah.
Iowa to play really physical with. She got abused.
She got the Shaq treatment.
It was sad to see
She
what they
got
were
beat
doing to
down.
her, and she was getting no calls. And she's just so nice.
She's so
sweet.
nice. Yes.
So,
Yeah. I love her.
but
She's great.
one of the biggest things I want to recognize with the women, 18.7 million versus 14 million to the men.
Yes. Top five all time of any basketball, men's, women's, NBA,
I mean,
whatever, playoffs.
That speaks volumes to where the game has come. I will say that's a positive that Caitlin Clark has brought. She's brought relevance to women's basketball, even though it was, definitely relevant before, but because of the viewership now, they're getting the flowers where they gotten a long time.
No, that's very true.
I know we're going to segue probably into the men's now. Cameron,
yeah, the dominant Huskies that they are, y'all. What is going on? UConn destroy yet another one. What
happened?
What happened?
The blink of an eye.
Happened with UConn. Like now they're tied with us with national championships. UConn is they're that team. They're that guy right now. They put it to Purdue 75-60. What a dominant run these last two seasons UConn has had. 12-0 in the tournament. Straight through double-digit wins.
We got to start like everybody else. Carolina got to start cheating.
Right.
Hey.
Not cheating.
Got to start.
Let me tell you, Jackson is the truth that's coming in. He's the truth.
Explain yourself. Explain yourself, brother. What do you mean got to start cheating?
Matt Painter said it. Matt Painter said, prior to the NIL, these people were getting paid.
Matt Painter dominated everybody else.
He said it. But all I got to say is we got to do better. We got to be paying some people some more money.
Yeah.
Carolina is not getting the recruits that we used to get.
I don't know what up with that. No, not at all. I think Hubert's going to change it.
Well, I mean,
the class is coming
because Carolina's dominance isn't what it used to be. When Coach came in and kind of took over that dominance for some time, UNC became less relevant. We did come in and sneak a couple here and there, but it all became about Duke, the brotherhood, all of that. Coach K coaching the Olympics, everything else. He had Kobe champion them, all these LeBron, all the major stars in the NBA. So of course, all the young kids were going to follow that.
That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't think about that NBA connection and stuff with the stars and like how, like the coaches that were seen and being put up there, it wasn't Carolina brand.
It wasn't the Carolina brand. Like nobody supported Roy.
Yeah, that's true.
Roy wasn't like he wasn't a name like Coach K was.
Yeah.
Even though,
but Roy was winning too. That's what's so crazy. We were winning.
Roy was on top of his head.
He was who he was. He was a fiery coach. Yeah. But some people, just didn't like his style and
too much of a country boy there. They ain't nap it.
Yeah. had a pro. So, but we got to start. We got to get somebody in there that's going to cheat. That's going.
Brother, that's going to cheat. Just put it on out there. We need a cheat. Well, good luck with we're going to get into that story later. But good luck with getting the players after what just transpired the last 24 hours.
Oh, to Arkansas.
A lot of money's going to be going to Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder how that's going to go. I saw, and I didn't read it. I don't know if y'all did, because I know the NCAA, they just did something regarding NIL like a couple of days ago. Like some kind of way they're trying to control everything and stuff now. And I didn't read into it. And that might be something interesting to see what it is that they did going forward. Maybe the next podcast we could get into it and talk about it. I gotta read it. It's some consumer protection. Yeah,
consumer protection plan. Yeah,
man, that thing is the wild, wild west. It's over with now.
It's too late. They should have done this way beforehand.
Yeah.
So I think what they're trying to do, they're trying to get the players to have to sign contracts. So it'd be harder for them to hop around from place to place to place.
How to get them locked in.
Now, I would say I do have a little issue with this transfer portal.
Yeah.
It's getting on my nerves.
Oh, man. They make it more lenient now. I think the NCAA just put a new rule in there about making players eligible immediately.
Yeah, they did. Yep. It's like immediate. But I feel like everybody's just 1 year, I'm out. And I'm like.
And that's everywhere.
But it hasn't been
everywhere.
It's already been immediate, right? Because I feel like everybody's tweeting as soon as the season's over, I'm going to the transfer portal.
It's in football and everything. The cat from Oregon, that was the leading. I mean, he's the star, a stud at Oregon.
Yeah.
He transferred.
I'm so confused. Like, I'm really confused because I don't know how this is supposed to benefit anybody at the next level. Like, I feel like you just missing all kind of development and growth and
to do the Ole Miss, the running back Ole Miss too.
What they're doing is chasing the bag, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, who got the most money?
Yep.
That's why Carolina.
You got a point.
Pretty much.
You got a point. If they want to compete.
If they want to compete, somebody got to start opening up a bill for them.
Yeah. Michael Jordan ain't paying nobody.
Michael Jordan, where you at, Michael?
Man, that cat.
Ain't you Michael Jordan?
That ain't happening.
No.
Oh, man.
He ain't going to. But UConn's dominant. Back to
UConn.
Back to UConn's dominant. Their margin of victory, 140 plus points.
What? That's crazy.
Unheard of. Ridiculous.
Historical.
And I'm sitting here, I'm like watching this game, and brother, you were funny. You kept it's about, in our chat. It's about, Purdue. You got another run in them. Run where?
Me and Cameron,
What I was
where?
trying to do was just
Who?
trying to make this game somewhat interesting when I already knew what the outcome was going to be.
We called it.
You talked about
Yes,
it was UConn and the rest of the field.
absolutely.
Our esteemed colleague here felt that
Auburn.
one team that started with an A.
I thought y'all were not going to bring this up.
It was like Alabama did play them the toughest. That was more
That's true.
a championship game than this one, but
Yeah.
it definitely wasn't going to be Auburn. Yeah, it was the wrong.
Nope, it's the wrong A.
The wrong
It was
team, but we
wrong team in
all
Alabama.
did say it's UConn and the rest of the field. Rewinding the tape. That was the first thing we said.
But what is Hurley doing that the others aren't?
Absolutely.
Right now? What is he doing better?
I think his strategy was first of all, his offense is beautiful to watch. It's a fun way to play. It's attractive to anybody with skill. And his guards are so huge. They're all like 6'6", all long arms. They can all shoot. They all can dribble. They all can pass. And like he said, we recruit NBA players. So he has the best players.
And the best just said right there is the difference. He gets NBA players, and it's not one or two. He gets 10.
It's the whole squad. Yes. Here, South Carolina has two starter lineups.
They're both
UConn basically have two starter lineups.
Think about that. Molly came off the bench, and she has been a starter anywhere else in the league.
And I think you were saying, brother, like you was like the bench
anywhere
won
in the country.
This championship.
Yep.
Like it was the bench that won it. But no,
the bench won it. The bench scored 37 points to 0.
That's great. That's crazy.
And
to 0.
UConn went 10 deep.
Yeah. And nobody does people don't do that in college basketball.
They go as 7 to 8.
No.
Absolutely.
To 7 to 8. 8 at the most. And I'm gonna tell you also, I think his strategy was brilliant. I'm gonna let Edie just have what he have because I'm gonna lock these other guys down. They don't have the talent that my guys have.
And Edie, what a he was killing them early, and like you said, letting them get what he got. He had 37, which was like over 60% of Purdue's points, and he's there right there. But it was like such a weird 37 because come that second half, they were it went 10 minutes without
because he had a lull. He went like 20 minutes without scoring.
Lingen he had him locked up for a while.
Yes.
What I noticed in that first half, I said, well, this game is over with. Because in that first half, I said, ooh, Edie is huffing. And he has not been paid the whole year.
Right. That's a back Lingen. That's a big body. 280 pounds?
Nope.
Lingen's a big boy. And then the Johnson boy brings it.
He's huge.
Johnson was frustrating him.
Yeah, a different thing. He's quick. He's agile. He can move. And Edie is none of that. He's not quick or agile. But to Carlin's point, Hurley is a tactician. Like he talks about it in every game. We just want to wear you out. When he goes in the half, he's like, we just want to break them. That's what in the half.
I love it.
Alabama.
I love it.
Said,
yes.
We're gonna get to the point where we break them.
Yeah. It's always that point. It is always that point.
That point. And his guys applied pressure on the defensive end, and on the offensive end, they run you through so many picks, so many screens.
So
Their
many
offense,
screens.
like
Yeah.
Colin was saying, is just a beauty to watch because you have so many actions that you can take off of the screens that he's got going on. You can flare, you can backdoor off of it. There's all kinds of, you can curl off of the pin downs that they give because each side is a pin down screen where the guys just read and react basically.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep. I'll tell you, Newton is a beast. Newton is like the perfect player in this offense, on this team.
Like
he's like a perfect fit.
And he's huge.
A stocking stuffer, baby.
That cat
he's huge.
Man. I was watching him towering over Smith.
Yes.
I said, this cat is humongous.
I didn't even realize that before.
Yes.
And when he finished over Edie, I was like,
this team is huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
he's different.
Okay.
That dude.
Yes.
Yeah. He got some length on
him. And the freshman, though. Castle.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's going to be a problem.
Oh, Castle is... Whew.
When I saw him...
He's going to be a problem.
Saw him bullying them guys from Alabama in the previous game. I said, this dude here is a monster.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to patty up against him, and he just... Boom. He bumped into him. Boom. Boom. Late. I said, oh, man, this was a freshman?
A freshman.
And he's already a lottery pick.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
He's a lottery pick.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Talking about him and Klingon, lottery picks, right?
I know. That's so wild. I was listening to some stuff with that today.
Yeah.
With them being lottery picks.
I was telling Cameron, I said last year when I saw Klingon was coming back, I said, well, UConn's going to repeat. I was like, why did you not go to the draft, sir?
Get out of college. Coming back.
And let me tell you, there is
I'm coming to get money.
Nothing in Stores, Connecticut. Nothing even close to being around it. So
nothing.
They are shoving out some dough because ain't nobody going out there.
They giving them boys so much money out there. And Hurley, that's why he can smile and talk all the junk that he can, because he knows.
And talk he does all the time.
And he getting paid too. He getting $5 million a year himself. Plus whatever.
Throw a whole Brinks truck at him from Kentucky.
Yeah, so let's talk about that since we we hinted at it and stuff. So John Calipari out at Kentucky, he released some stuff on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it today. A little goodbye message. It was almost about 4 minutes long, rambling on, but he said it's time for some new voices, for Kentucky to hear some new voices, for the fans to hear some new voices. Everybody needs new voices around. Now it's a question of, a few things to talk about, like just what we think about Calipari moving and looks, going here to Arkansas. It's looking like. And so also, who do we think is going to replace him? Because Hurley, that was one name thrown out there, but Hurley said he ain't going nowhere. Nado's been thrown out there, but he said
he's serious. He's a Northeast guy. He's not going to Kentucky.
Nate Oates is the only one that makes sense.
He said he's not leaving.
That's what he says now.
Yeah. He said that PR talk. But when they back up all them zeros to him, that'll change. He'll be just like Patino and Calipari were in the middle of the night.
I'm going to tell you who I think it's going to be. Don't laugh at me. I think it may be Billy Donovan.
Slip back.
He's Rick Pitino 2.0. They love Rick Pitino down there. He coached there before. He's not going to stay with the Bulls. He's not staying in the NBA. He had huge success at Florida in college. A Flickster? Oh, yeah. he gonna get the money.
No,
If he work for Patino,
you got a
he
point
knows
there.
how to cheat.
He,
So I can
he would make sense.
coming back to
He would
college.
make sense, but I don't think he's going. I don't think he's going
Yeah,
to
you think
leave.
he's gonna leave though? The league, I don't know.
He's not. Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna get fired
Yeah,
from
he's
Chicago.
gonna
You think
still
he's
coach
still coach there?
He still got him in the play-in, doesn't
Yeah, but it's the play in. And Chicago's not going anywhere. They're forever rebuilding.
I don't think they want to win like they did before. I think they enjoyed mediocrity myself.
But they had the glory days. They're like, we're good.
I don't know. It's a lot of names that been thrown out there.
It's a lot.
Drew.
It's a lot that's going out.
Yeah, I heard Scott Drew.
I don't like him.
That'd be weird to me. Scott Drew
He's
there.
wishy-washy to me. He's not.
Yeah.
Not that. He's not that great to me.
Yes. He has no pressure whatsoever at Baylor, so I don't see him leaving.
You got to try to get, if it's for Kentucky, it's got to be somebody a huge name. It can't.
They've thrown out Calvin Sampson. They've thrown out
It's gotta be a
Shaka
big name.
Smart. They've thrown out Mark Pope.
He's too old.
He's
That was like 70.
Now, Shaka, that would be interesting.
Yeah, because Shaka had indicated he wasn't. I remember one thing I was reading about him. He had indicated he wasn't interested in any new coaching cycles and stuff like that. But that was before Kentucky was available.
I want Shaka to go Kentucky. I don't want that to happen to Shaka.
Oh yeah.
You see how they treated him in Texas?
Yeah. Oh,
imagine how they
say get this Negro up out of here.
That might be a point. Points are made.
Death principle.
They did Tubby.
Look how they did Tubby.
Yeah.
Tubby was amazing at Kentucky.
And Tubby won.
They want him gone.
You're absolutely right.
Yes, and he wasn't a natty there.
Right. Oh no. What do y'all think about for Calipari in this move? Was this needed? Is it time? You think he's gonna just kind of style going forward now?
Yeah.
They wanted him out of there.
Yeah. It's been pretty obvious. Yes.
It was just because he had so much money on the books, they didn't see a way out of there.
That's true.
That's
true.
They just thankful that Arkansas bid on it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you gonna take this? Have it.
When you and the AD don't have a good relationship, it's never gonna work. So that was part of it too. The fan base hated him. AD hated him. He hated them too. Calipari hated them back as equally as much. But it was perfect time for him to get out.
He just we talked about that. He lost a lot of his bite that he used to have.
Yeah. You just
he wasn't
just
saying
his
Cal.
face,
yeah,
just his demeanor and
got comfortable.
Oh yeah,
not the same.
His body,
he wasn't even
body language and
like
everything
he used to. So he needed that fresh start, and Arkansas got a lot of money.
Yeah,
they got a lot of NIL money,
and he knows how to get
players.
The big players.
And Arkansas in that region, they lock it down.
They do. And they're like, when they're good, they are a fun team to watch out there. And they can make some noise. So
he can recruit that crazy. Like
it gets around
any top Arkansas not leave. They go
Memphis,
go to Arkansas.
Yep. That's true. Yeah.
And he can
Yep.
He could get
Poor
Memphis players.
Penny's gonna lose all the players.
So
yep.
Penny is not gonna like that because Cal.
Yeah.
You said Cal gonna do what to him?
He gonna take Cal gonna take his players.
That his players are gone. All right,
his players gone.
Yeah, I said they go.
Yeah.
Oh, they gone. The Memphis gone.
It's over.
They going to Arkansas.
That's gonna be interesting to watch. Well, I'm sure it's gonna be a lot of developments to come with that, and whoever ends up being there, it's gonna be fun.
But it's funny how the dominoes got us here. You know, with USC's coach moving on, and then Old boy from Arkansas went to USC.
Yeah, there was a little domino.
And Cal going to Arkansas.
Yeah, it's a lot of moves.